The topic is triple integrals in spherical coordinate. So let's do this example. Use spherical coordinate to find the volume below the cone z equals square root of x squared plus y squared, above the xy plane, and inside the sphere x squared plus y squared plus z squared equal 8. So let's draw the sphere. So square root of 8, square root of 8, square root of 8. And then the cone z equals square root of x squared plus y squared will be that. So here's the cone. So we're interested only on below the cone and above xy plane. So from here to here, from here to here. Alright, of course inside the sphere. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to know, since we're going to do this in spherical, we need to know what is a phi. Remember the equations of a phi, of a cone, it's always going to be phi equal a constant. So we need to know that angle. So phi equal what? So how do we do that? Let's just convert the equation of the cone to spherical. Equation of a cone is 0 equal square root x squared plus y squared. Now I know my z is rho cosine phi, and I know my x is rho sine phi cosine theta, but I'm going to square it. And I know my y is rho sine phi sine theta, squared it also. And I want square root of all that. Now I notice that I can factor rho squared sine square phi. And if I do that, I'll get cosine squared plus sine squared theta, which I know it's equal to 1. So square root of rho squared is rho because rho is positive. Same thing, sine square phi sine phi. Because sine phi is positive. Why sine phi is positive? Because we know phi is between 0 and pi over 2. And we know sine is always positive there. Now divide by rho, this is going to be gone. So we know divide sine phi. Or you can tell sine phi is equal cosine phi when the angle phi is equal pi over 4, or you can just put sine over phi divided by cosine over phi, which is tangent, and that's supposed to give you 1, which means phi is equal pi over 4. So now I know I want to go from this angle. So you gotta watch out from phi, from this phi equal pi over 4 to phi equal pi over 2. Remember 0 will be here. This is phi equals 0, so you gotta watch out. So I know, let me write it down. I know my phi need to go from, what do we say, pi over 4 to pi over 2. I want my rho to go from 0 to all the way square root of 8. So rho will go from 0 to square root of 8. And what else? The theta, of course I need the whole revolution. So theta is going to go from 0 to 2 pi. Alright, so now let's look at the definition. V of E, by definition, is the integral. Like I said, theta, I want the theta to go, the triple integral, theta to go from 0 to 2 pi. I want I'm going to do phi next. Phi to go from pi over 4 to pi over 2. And then rho to go from 0 to square root of 8. And then dv, which is that, rho square sine phi dbo d phi d theta. This is an easy integral to evaluate. Let's start with the inner one. So sine phi is a constant. So let me rewrite this. 0 to 2 pi, pi over 4 to pi over 2. So that would be rho 3 over 3 sine phi, because it's constant, we don't touch, and we want to go from 0 to square root of 8. Now this is going to be equal to, now plug in square root of 8, and let me write it here. Square root of 8 is the same thing as 8 to 1/2. If you cube it and you divide it by 3, this is going to be 8. 3 times 1/2 is 3 over 2 over 3. So I'm going to write 8, 3 over 2 over 3, sine phi minus 0, so I don't need that. So d phi d theta. Alright, now I need to do the inner integral again. So I'm going from 0 to 2 pi. Integral of sine phi d phi will be minus cosine. So minus cosine of phi between pi over 4 and pi over 2 d theta. Now plug in 8, 3 over 2 over 3, plug in pi over 2, that's going to give me minus cosine pi over 2, minus minus is plus, cosine of pi over 4, and this is d theta. This is going to be equal to cosine of pi over 2 is 0, cosine pi over 4 is 1 over square root of 2 d theta. Integral of d theta is theta, so 8, 3 over 2 over 3 square root of 2. I want my theta to go between 0 and 2 pi, which is 2 pi minus 0. So I'm done. So it's 2 pi, how do I write that? Well, let's write it like this. 2 pi times 8, 3 over 2 over 3 square root of 2. So this is my value. And that's it for this example.